It's 7:10. I got up at 6:30 so I could get ready and go for an early run before the day starts because today is going to be a big day. Just because it's a big day doesn't mean I can't fit in a quick cardio session early in the morning. 2 laps of this is about 30 minutes. No, maybe 3 laps of this is 30 minutes. Man, this is really big. Space for running. Right now, I do cardio twice a week. And I'm completely satisfied with the results. Maybe in 2 weeks, I'll increase it to 3 times a week. Not sure. Look at those old ladies warming up. Or maybe they're not old ladies, I'm not sure. Here in Bangkok, there are people of all ages training in the parks everywhere. It's so motivating because everyone is so healthy. It's just so cool. Look how beautiful it is, damn it. Damn it. Lap number 1, done in exactly 12 minutes. It took me, 1 lap is 2 kilometers. Basically, I'm running 6 minutes per kilometer. Before the match, I'm very satisfied. Oh, it's very beautiful. Lap number 2, it was less and more was 13 minutes. Oh, guy can't catch a break.
Now in Bulgarian.
Oh, my friend can't get a break from nonsense. Bro,
I mean,
he just had 2 days of progress.
no, it's not like a step back for me. It's more like 2 steps back.
Look, your hat says keep our health. The holiday.
Holiday? Yes,
That makes no sense, bro.
yeah, that's exactly why you...
Ha, what the fuck?
That's why I got it, bro. It's kind of brain rot, just like my relationships lately.
Our brain rot?
I'm really brain rotted now. A year ago, I made videos like this without knowing what that meant.
But now you're like...
Now I'm experiencing it. Now my brain is totally rotten from everything that happened around.
Pretty Mac TL, Dr. TLDR. He was supposed to be with some influencers at the house. And,
Actually, it wasn't supposed to be me.
oh, it wasn't supposed to be?
It wasn't supposed to be normal. I was expected to go with Julie since we're a couple.
Yeah,
We didn't become a couple until 2 days before the house.
uh-huh. And this is a place for influencers.
Yeah.
It's just that her non-influencer friends are there. The girls who have under 1,000 followers, but there's no room for one of the most famous Bulgarians, men, who won a reality show for couples.
Does it make sense to give so much weight and fame to someone who doesn't deserve it?
Oh no, I'm just summarizing. The legends should know how to get into the movie.
The legends can just give feedback if they want to be in the movie, based on what I've learned.
What did you learn?
Bro, you should never give 100% to anyone.
It depends. I believe in love and giving your all, but only for the right person.
Well, for the right person, how do you know that this is the right person? At the very least, when they don't tell you straight to your face that they don't respect you? Yeah, and you leave with dignity.
Which you didn't do.
I didn't do it, which was my mistake, and now I'm facing the consequences. And just, yes, you respect yourself first and foremost because I didn't respect myself, and that was the result. Accordingly, do I regret it? Well,
do I regret it?
Yes, I regret some things you can't say.
You can't say you regret everything because I'm sure you've had good moments together.
Bro, this relationship only had one good moment. Cover up, a production. A production made fate, which the two of us dreamed of a relationship that could start from reality. We hoped that it was possible, that we could be happy. We were rather dreaming about the idea, just me and her. There has never been anything between us, something that you could say, this is love. There was no love. We didn't love each other. We weren't even in love, I don't know. We were hyped up, bro, and turned on. How should I know? I mean, I'm embarrassed to talk, but in a moment like that, I just want to open my mouth and say some things.
Sometimes it's better to say them out loud. And then, once you've said them, they weigh less on you.
Yeah, well, I've been holding a lot of things inside for over 10 days now. I can say that a little while ago I had a panic attack, which was...
Yeah, he was just here a little while ago. Was rolling on the ground.
I wasn't rolling on the ground, but I would have really bad.
Bro, you were squatting on the ground, curled up in a ball.
Well, what I have to say is that I had my first panic attack after the show. That's when these things started. Guys, this really isn't for everyone.
Well, you know what? I really like reality shows, but I've always been a bit, how should I put it? I've always been afraid of reality shows since I've been making YouTube videos by myself. Me, my audience, the legends I've gathered, I've been collecting them for years because I'm just a person pursuing his dreams since childhood.
Yeah.
I've been doing YouTube since I was 16. I've been streaming even longer. And my audience are legends who know me best. If I join a reality show, they might portray me in a way that isn't truly me.
You'll be a bit different, yes.
Yes, and I'm also afraid of that I don't have control of what the production will show to the public. Because from what is shown to the public, cutting,
Yeah.
everything can be twisted so that it's not really you.
Yes, your audience will see you as, they'll judge what was cut because they know you more or less.
Yes, but the people who aren't my audience,
Well, that's already...
they'll see me as that tattooed guy from the reality show.
You'll always be known as that guy from that reality show. That label will stick.
Not Nikki, the fastest Bulgarian, Nikki from Wild and Beautiful.
Well, no, actually, I'm not that dependent, not suffering from it that much. Rather,
Athlete?
shit happens. You have to know when to leave.
That applies to both sides. That's advice that both women and men
Absolutely.
should listen. Because I believe when a couple reaches the limit of lack of respect, hate, letting it all out, our ugliest sides, both sides are to blame. I don't think there always has to be just one person at fault, because I know for myself that I haven't been the best boyfriend in the world to... At certain moments in my relationships with exes and current partners, we've all had moments of rage, nervousness, emotional crises, and so on. But it's very important that this doesn't prevail. Otherwise, it becomes an emotional roller coaster and ruins everything. For you, for the other person, for the man, and for the woman. And maybe it's really important when you're in a relationship and you see that things really aren't okay. No matter how much there is attachment. Attachment shouldn't be a reason to stay, because it will bring out the ugliest. The ugliest traits of a character.
Yes.
Traits that many of us, men and women, have worked to eliminate. But sometimes it's really better to walk away. That's advice that's not just for men, but for women too.
About attachment, in your opinion, is it a weakness or already an obsession? Or, in your opinion, it's complicated?
It really depends on which point of view you're looking from. At what stage of the relationship. Because if you're attached out of love, it's great. But if you're attached out of misery, that's also... Because people sometimes get attached to the emotion they feel. Because even if you're feeling a negative emotion, even if you're attached to the negative emotion, that's why there are so many women and men who stay in very negative relationships. And for example, I'm sure it's happened to you to have a female friend. She's told you all the bad things in the relationship that she's still in, but then she says, but in the end, I love him. And I put up with him. You know what I mean? But there are also men like that. For example, there are men who are in relationships with women who are quite unpleasant for them.
Yes.
For example, they are obsessive, unpleasant, jealous, they don't have good qualities and so on, but men are still in a relationship with them simply because feeling emotion is very contagious. And when you stop feeling emotion, even if it's better for you, in the long run, your body misses it. To feel something, because the most unpleasant thing a person can experience is nothing.
Is that what you think?
That's what I believe. A lot of people talk about stoicism, about being above things, but I believe in love with both hands, and I believe in emotion. And I believe that even in the greatest love, there is always a part that isn't pleasant, but it should just be a small part, because we're not always perfect for our partners. And we learn to be. And when we find the right person, he will love us and say to himself, okay, this is worth it. This person is worth the downsides. But the downsides are only worth it if this person is really working on removing those downsides. Because we all have flaws. That's it. It would be the biggest lie if someone said, I'm perfect, the other isn't. No one is perfect, not at every moment.
People just need to match their flaws, in my opinion, and somehow learn to like those flaws and be ready to make compromises for them.
Yeah, is the person overall worth making a compromise for?
Yes. Yes, but compromises shouldn't go too far because...
Exactly. It shouldn't be just compromises, it should be 75%. Good attitude and 25% compromises.
Yes.
Because I know that I have some flaws in my character, which I am very grateful that Liza puts up with in me. But Liza also has some flaws in her character, which are totally not on the same... I don't think the same way, but the rest of her character, the love and the attitude towards me makes it worth it for me to turn a blind eye, because in the end, life and being in a relationship, if you want to think far into the future, is one big compromise. Some time ago, I was on some catamarans in the summer at Panic Frame, the coolest experience in the world. And there were a lot of couples there who have been together for a very long time. And one of the couples, now I won't name names, but I asked for advice from a guy who's super hyper successful and his wife, super hyper successful. I asked, okay, how do you have a successful marriage, 3 kids, and you've been together for years? He looked at me and said, compromise. And his wife was next to him. She took his arm and just hugged him, you know? Because she knows she does the same, and that when love is worth it, compromises are the right thing. But when you only make compromises for a little bit of love,
Yes.
well, then the math breaks down. A little love is enough to hook you, but not enough to make you happy.
You just shouldn't be with someone with whom you have to compromise on things that are simply your true essence. You shouldn't deprive yourself of the things you love most in life.
Absolutely.
The key compromise you must make is with yourself, not just others, the other person. They can say a lot of things, actually. In general, they can say a lot of things.
Since we're talking about relationships, I want to share with you a piece of advice that my psychologist gave me when I wanted to fix something in myself and in my relationship. Something that very few people talk about, very few people mention it, but now I'm going to ask you, what is the reason that at the beginning of relationships, couples, yes, have more respect, in your opinion, for each other?
Well, I don't think that's a strange reason. It's just that the 2 people are meeting for the first time and they're strangers. I mean, that's why.
Correct answer, but I'll make it more concise.
All right?
What do respect for your new relationship and for new friends who have just gone from strangers to friends have in common? Now, this will make you think a bit about how this could be fixed, but only if both people have,
Maybe we take people for granted at some point.
kind of.
Okay.
It's a social speaking etiquette when you meet someone new, like me to you, you to me, and we're kind of strangers, or the people you've met in Bali are strangers, new girls, boys, friends, everyone is a stranger. That means we have a certain social etiquette about this. You can't allow yourself to speak to a stranger in the way you would allow yourself with someone close. Why?
Okay, I got you.
Because when someone is close to you, you know that person will listen to you. And they won't just say, go fuck yourself and leave.
Yes.
Basically, social etiquette is much stricter among strangers. When you're in a romantic relationship with someone or in a friendship with someone, you allow yourself to be a little rougher or a little more direct, since you know they'll listen and won't leave anyway. That means the social etiquette, its boundary, gets a little thinner, more or less, and we start to behave in ways we wouldn't behave with strangers. Because I'm convinced that I haven't behaved that well with people I've had unpleasant relationships, right? Not just exes or men, but also friends we've gotten annoyed with, where we've said really ugly things to each other you'd never normally say. Someone you just...
To someone, yeah.
And when it's too much, when in our daily lives this boundary of social etiquette starts to be crossed, you start to normalize insults, normalize attacks, normalize blaming. And how does that come back?
How do you come back from getting into such a situation? Because it's possible.
It's possible to.
And how do you go back?
Only when both people realize that they have both crossed the social etiquette, the boundary of normal conversation, the boundary of respect.
Bravo.
When 2 people shake hands and agree not to insult each other, even if they stop talking, it's better to say nothing than use bad words. We won't insult each other anymore. We won't attack each other anymore. No more blah, 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 you know? And sometimes if both people are reasonable enough and are enough, emotionally intelligent, they say, okay, our love is enough for us to try to restore our social etiquette and boundaries of communication. That should be enough, since you may have a week's progress. And if either of you allows themselves to cross the line, you go back to 0 because he insults you and you want to insult him back. And this social etiquette breaks down and suddenly you're talking again as if you owe each other something. And maybe the only way to rekindle this whole thing is when both people are emotionally and intellectually mature enough. Yes, take a step back, look at the situation from the outside, and give themselves time to learn how to communicate with each other again. Because when enough time passes, by respecting these boundaries,
Yes.
You start to build a new respect for the person, but this, the key to this whole thing is really the two people.
And in your opinion, is it necessary to have a physical separation for some time for this to happen? Or can it happen while they're together?
In my opinion, physical separations work.
They work?
They work, but not the psychological separations.
What happens next?
That's what I'm saying. For example, I really love to travel alone because when I'm alone, I get to be by myself and start thinking about my flaws, my businesses, the things that have stressed me out. Because when I'm with my girlfriend around me, it's just too comfortable for me to sweep everything under the rug, just put it under the carpet, whatever the problem is. And I believe that it's very useful to have some separation from time to time, but not to break up like we're breaking up.
Yeah.
To say, well, I need to spend 3 or 4 days alone.
Yes.
And then I want to tell you that then all the tension from talking and the attacks and so on disappears, and only the thought of love remains. And that's why it's really tough for us, man, after a breakup, because we start thinking about all the good things that could have been if some little things hadn't happened.
Yeah.
Man, if you hadn't gotten on my nerves there, I wouldn't have done that. Or God, if I hadn't reacted like that, she wouldn't have answered me. And so on, so on. Women are a bit more primal because they're much more emotional than us. That's the plain truth. And in order to play the long-term relationship game, you need to recognize yourself to know when it's time to pull back a little. To be alone with yourself and focus on feeling a bit more like a man. And so the woman will actually see, okay, he's not dependent on me. He does his own things. Maybe I need to calm down a bit, and after 4 or 5 days, what's left is the longing and the love, and then things might work out. I believe that sometimes people break up more dramatically than they should, because nowadays it's very scary to tell your partner, I want to go somewhere alone. Because we live in a time where too many people do stupid things behind the backs of...
Yeah.
If someone fully trusts you and says, I just need some time alone to focus on work, respect that.
Well, yeah.
Skits, mental health, and so on. Yes. And he says, okay, I have no problems. No problem.
Bro, I can confirm that about the distance, because in my relationship, we had given ourselves a period of time when we were apart, like a month without being together, something like that. After that, when we saw each other,
there was love. Or lack.
There was just a little more respect, and
here, in fact, social etiquette was restored.
But only for the first 2 days.
Well, yes, because on the third day...
on the third day it was...
most likely one of the two of us allowed themselves.
No, someone.
To attack someone?
Someone, we can say his name.
No, let's not play this game, because the idea of this video part is to...
Yeah, I'm just joking, whatever. But what you said about the distance and that 1 month where...
That's a long time, bro. 1 month is too much if you ask me.
Well...
From 3 to 5 days, bro. 1 business week, as they say.
1 business week? That still gives enough time for someone who tends to act behind your back, even while with you. So, whatever?
I'm mainly referring to someone staying alone for a week to focus on themselves so they can return happy to the relationship. But...
I understood.
I understood what you meant.
You understood me. What should I add then? I can't tell you what will be. So constructive right now since I'm under emotional influence?
Yes.
I can't. I'm leading you through something.
My advice is, bro, to...
No.
Focus on work. Focus on yourself. And be the best version of yourself. Not for someone else. Because it's tough at first, but after a few months, unless you move on to the next level, you don't really have another choice.
No, you don't have a choice. Breakups, we've all been through some. The question is, to get back into the rhythm?
I don't believe that you didn't love her since it's so hard for you now. I think there was love, at least on your side.
Well, from my side, there is love for every human being, I just love that feeling, and maybe I idealize it a little bit, like when I'm with someone, even if they don't deserve it and don't show me that they're the one, I just give it to them. Without them deserving it in a way, it's like I just give it to them.
Look, I'm a bit trusting, and for example, I believe that you shouldn't wait for someone to prove themselves, but rather you should wait for someone to fuck up. No. Because if you have to be cautious your whole life, that means not giving. In my opinion, you're doing the right thing. I'm very generous too. When I see that someone is good to me, I can give them the world. And when I see that later on they don't respect me, I'll take my world back. And the problem comes from the fact that many people see the disrespect and don't take their world back. And that's how they remain hurt and with a feeling of being used, even though they are also to blame for staying in that relationship. Because if you've seen so many disrespectful things, well, it's on you, brat, for not leaving on time.
Yes.
In this case, you can't. You have to look from within. Actually, and the first step towards that is to realize it.
That's right, you're right, you're right.
I'm going to take Nikki to my favorite restaurant, Kenzo Suisan, to treat him. I want to treat him to eel, bro. That's the specialty of this restaurant. It's really the tastiest dish. Eel is kind of like the Wagyu of the fish world. Have you ever had Wagyu?
No, I haven't.
Wagyu, do you know what that is?
No.
The most tender beef from Happy? Cows, they live on a specific island in Japan. And they are raised and given massages and so on, so that the fat is evenly distributed throughout the meat.
Okay.
Yes, so the eel is the equivalent of Wagyu, but for the marine world.
Yes.
Otherwise, bro, I want to tell you that compared to the first vlog, the first day we were here, you're like a new person.
Well, brand new, I don't think I am. I just think I feel a little better because that's why I have to thank you once again, because honestly, you showed up at a really cool moment. Cool? You made me feel cool during a rough moment.
I'm glad to hear that.
I really appreciate that. I won't forget it.
Glad to hear that, brother.
That's why I asked you one question. Also, I'll ask you again. How did you know, bro, that Liza is your person?
With your heart, bro. I don't have any metrics to track, but with my heart, I know that Liza is my person. I truly believe that she will be the one I marry someday. And I love her with all my heart. And that's the person who makes me want to be, first, who believes in me, even when I'm at my lowest, even when I'm lower than my lowest. And the person who has been so patient with me, more than anyone else ever has, she deserves all my respect and love, and yeah, that's basically it.
Bravo, bro, bravo. Really, I wish you that to happen.
My favorite restaurant. The restaurant.
Is this it?
Yes. Yeah, this is my favorite. I came to have my fish grilled beside me. This is Saba fish, a very tasty fish. A very, very, very tasty fish. This is eel, Saba, fish, beef sushi, strange as it may sound, 5 kinds, this kind of sashimi.
He was filming it like this. Wow. Well, as I told you, I've wanted to start with YouTube for a long time, and honestly, I got inspired after spending a few days with you. Thank you, bro. And do you think it would be okay for me to use this situation for YouTube, considering I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, I just want to express what's really inside me?
I'm leaving this here so I can talk to both you and them. When you're doing YouTube, you're making YouTube videos for yourself and your viewers, not just for you. Believe me, there are a lot of people who aren't as lucky and don't have the life that, yes, they don't get to go out or talk with friends. And when you talk about your problems in life in public and accept that you're not ashamed of it, there are many, many men in the same situations as you, but they have no one to share with. And when they see someone on the internet who is going through the same or similar things, they see that they're not alone. And that's actually quite a big emotional support for the people who watch you. So you should rather ask yourself about the things that I say. Will I just complain, or will I give a positive opinion on how to get through them? Because if you only complain, you'll just be a complainer. But if you share the situation and then show your audience how you will overcome the situation, not to give advice, but to show how you are overcoming the situation. Not by talking, but by showing how you become a better man with a better daily life. You lock in, you develop yourself, you show the way to properly get out of such an emotional hole. And I believe people relate to that the most when they can feel the emotion. And yes, I believe that sharing your personal things from life is a decent way to start YouTube. And this also goes for anyone watching me who wants to try YouTube. Share. First, you will feel relieved to say everything that's inside you. Second, there will always be people who are in the same situation, and you will show them that they are not alone. And now I want you to try the eel.
All right. By the way, that's not how I pictured it. I actually imagined it as a thin, long snake.
No.
But it looks like a fish. Isn't it a fish?
The eel is not a fish.
Yes. Isn't it a fish?
It's considered a type of seafood.
I don't know if the sauce is really good and the fish, whatever it is, it's really good. The eel, man, it's incredible.
Uh-huh.
I can't compare it to anything else, by the way.
There literally isn't, there's no equivalent. That's why I say the only comparison I can think of is that it's like the SeaWorld's Lagio, but there's nothing like it in terms of taste.
It's very juicy.
It tastes like eel.
It tastes like eel. It melts in your mouth. I mean,
it melts in your mouth and is awesome. It's a little past 8. I just got to the gym. I officially kicked Nikki out of the house to leave because honestly, I'm tired of living with someone else. No, I'm joking. I didn't kick Nikki out of the house. It was just, it was already time for him to leave. I warned him that Liza would be in Bulgaria for 3 days and she's coming back. Today she's already traveling. She should be in the morning, early, to be with me. And I wanted for him to leave so I could tidy up the house, clean everything, prepare, so that with Liza we could see each other because we actually haven't seen each other for 2 weeks. We saw each other briefly after I returned from the Philippines. You went to Bulgaria while I stayed here. We haven't seen each other for 2 weeks, which is one of our longest times apart. And I miss her a lot, and honestly, I can't wait to be with Liza again. Nikki and I had an amazing time. He's a really good person. He's just going through some things that each of us has gone through. But I believe that with the right mindset, the right focus, he'll find a better version of himself and he'll be a true legend again. And I want to tell you all to love each other. And I want to tell you that I love you. We'll see each other again in the next vlog. Bye.